This is Module 3, Lesson 3, Dilations on the Coordinate Plane. We're currently looking at Standard 8GA3, where we're going to describe the effect of dilations, translations, rotations, and reflections on two-dimensional figures. Now, we've already looked at translations, rotations, and reflections. So this is where we're going to look at dilations, and we've done some work on dilations already. So we're repeating some stuff that we've done before and working on that. The objectives: we're going to plot dilations on the coordinate grids, and we're going to find coordinates for points of figures that are dilated on coordinate grids. This all comes from the Eureka Module 3 workbook, Lesson 6. And this is on the workbook, page 59. It says point A, which is 7, 9, is dilated from the origin by scale factor R. What are the coordinates of point A prime? So let's take our point A, which is 7, 9, and dilate it by a scale factor of 6. If I do that, that simply means I multiply the x and the y coordinate by 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 9 is 54. My new coordinate, A prime, is 42, 54. If I have point B at negative 8, 5, and I dilate that by a scale factor of 1/2, whenever I dilate anything by 1/2, it's the same as dividing by 2. Look at this. Negative 8 times 1/2 is the same as negative 8 over 1 times 1/2. That's negative 8 divided by 2. So see, anything that like that, you're dividing by 2. When you're multiplying by 1/2, it's the same as dividing by 2. 1/2 of negative 8 would give me negative 4. 1/2 of 5 is 2.5. B prime then is at negative 4, 2.5. Point C, which is at 6, negative 2. This we want to dilate by 3/4. I would do that in my calculator, okay? And I would multiply 6 by 3/4. In other words, I would say 6 times 3 divided by 4, which would give you 4.5. Okay, so this is 4.5. And 3/4 times negative 2, that would be negative 2 times 3 divided by 4, which gives you negative 1.5. My point is at 4.5, negative 1.5. That's where C prime would be. If I have point D, which is at 0, 11, and I dilate it by a scale factor of 4, that means I'm multiplying everything by 4. Okay, D prime there would be 4 times 0, which is 0, 4 times 11, which is 44. Your point is at D prime. And if I've got point E, which is at negative 2, negative 5, and I dilate it by a scale factor of 3/2, then I'm going to multiply the negative 2 times the 3, and then I'm going to divide by 2, and doesn't that give you negative 3? Okay, so E prime is going to be at negative 3, same thing here. If I have negative 5 times 3, and then divide that by 2, and you've got negative 7.5. Okay, those are the points after you've dilated them. Now, in your workbook, go to page 60. This says the coordinates of triangle ABC are shown in the coordinate plane below. The triangle is dilated from the origin by a scale factor of 12. I'm going to make it 12 times bigger. Identify the coordinates of the dilated triangle, A prime, B prime, C prime. They didn't ask you to plot it. They just want the coordinates. Well, if A is currently at negative 2, 2, and I dilate this by 12, that means multiplying your coordinates by 12. A prime then is going to be at negative 24, 24. Okay? Again, they didn't ask you to plot it. They just asked you to find the coordinates. B is currently at negative 3, negative 3. So if I multiply that by 12, my B prime is going to be at negative 36, negative 36. Okay? And then C. C is currently at 6, 1. So if I multiply that by 12, C prime would be at 72, 12. Okay? That's everything. Those are all the coordinates for the dilated triangle. Now go to page 62 in your workbook. It tells that the triangle ABC has these coordinates. Draw and label triangle ABC on the coordinate plane. Okay, I've already done that. A is at 3, 2. See? 3, 2. There's your point A. B is at 12, 3. 12, 3. C is at 9, 12. 9, 12. So this top point up here is C. Okay? Now, they asked me to dilate this from the origin by a scale factor of 1/3. 1/3 means that the image is going to be 1/3 the size of the pre-image, and it moves closer to the center of dilation. Okay, what do they ask me for? Identify the coordinates of the dilated triangle, then draw the triangle. Okay, the coordinates of the dilated triangle. If we started at A, let's see, A was at 3, 2. And I am dilating this by a scale factor of 1/3. That means I would multiply each of these by 1/3. If I multiply 1/3 times 3, take 1/3 of 3, divide, in other words, divide 3 by 3, I get 1. If I multiply the 2 by 1/3, I get 2/3, okay? So A prime is at 1 2/3. B is currently at 12, 3. We want 1/3 of those, so we divide each of those by 3. That would give me for B prime, 12 divided by 3 is 4. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so B prime is at 4, 1. Let's see. C, let's find C. C, it says, starts at 9, 12. And let's do 1/3 of this. Okay, 1/3 of 9 means that I'm going to divide 9 by 3, which is 3, 12 by 3, which is 4. So it should be at 3, 4. Now plot these. 1 2/3. 1 2/3. It's not all the way to 1. 4, 1, 4, 1. C is at 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, there's a new triangle. It is smaller than the original. It's 1/3 the size of the original, and it's closer to your center of dilation. In fact, if you want to see if your point's in the right place, start at your center of dilation with a line and draw that line. Okay, notice how A and A prime both go through the center of the center of dilation. Okay, how about if I do B, B prime? All of those would be on the same line, wouldn't they? How about C, C prime? That would be C here and C prime, right? C and C prime. They go through the same points. Okay, that's how you can check to see if you've got them in the right place. And now, page 69, I believe it is in your workbook. Triangle ABC is shown below. The triangle's dilated by a scale factor of 4. 4 means I'm making it larger, right? Identify the coordinates of the dilated triangle, A prime, B prime, C prime. So let's start with A. Here we're going to read it off the chart. Here's your origin. Your X coordinate is -10, your Y is 6. So A is at -10, 6. Okay. I'm dilating this by a scale factor of 4. So I'd multiply them both by 4. A prime then is at -40, 24. B, let's see where B is. B is at -11, 2. -11, 2. Let's multiply those by 4. B prime then is at -44, 8. How about C? C is at -10, 6. -10, 6. And if I multiply that by 4, I get -40 and 24. Okay? Now, in your packet, go with me to page 3, okay? Or page 4, okay, page 4. And let's look at 5, 7, and then the 2 12s at the bottom. 5. On this, we're supposed to first plot the figure that's here. J, which is 0, 12, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's your J. K is at 8, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 12. There's K. L is at 4, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. M is at negative 8, 4. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? JKLM. All right, and we'll draw the lines for them. There's quadrilateral JKLM. Now we're going to dilate this by a scale factor of 1/4. So I'm multiplying everything by 1/4, which means you divide it by 4. 0 divided by 4 is 0. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay? On this one, 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 0 divided by 4 is 0. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, now let's plot those points. I'll do that in red so we can see it a little different. 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. There's your J prime. K prime is at 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There's your K prime. L prime is at 1, 0, 1, 0. There's L prime. M prime is at negative 2, 1. There's your M prime. Okay, so let's draw that so we can see it. J to K, to L prime, to M prime, back to J. See, that's 1/4 the size of your original figure. Let's look at number 7. Let's do the same thing. They've already graphed this. Okay. On 7, they've already graphed it. And what they're saying here is very simple. They say, graph the image of the rectangle below using a scale factor of 3. So I need to make these 3 bigger. B is at 1, negative 1. 1, negative 1. So if I multiply that by 3, that's 3, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3. There's your B prime. C is at 3, 0. Multiply that. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 0. 9, 0. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay. There's your C prime. D is currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 4. 5 times 3 is 15. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. 15, negative 12. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there is your D prime. And E is currently at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, negative 5. 3 times 3 is 9. Negative 5 times 3 would be negative 15. So 9, negative 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And negative 15. Let's see. This point was at negative 12, 13, 14, 15. E prime. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw the figure so you can see it. B prime to C prime. C prime to D prime. D prime to E prime. E prime to B prime. Okay, there is your figure. Okay. Now this is 3 times the size of the figure that you had. Notice it's also farther away from it. If you want to check to see if all of these things are in the right spot, we can always put a line here through the origin, through the points. Look, see, B and B prime are on that one. C and C prime are on that one. How about D and D prime? They're all on the line. How about E and E prime? Yep, all on the line. Okay, so if they go through the origin and the 2 points, then you've actually drawn the dilation. Okay, let's go down to the bottom two, which are 12. Identify a scale factor used to graph the image below. Well, we know that the scale factor is the image over the pre-image. Okay, in this point, in this case, why don't we take the points? P is at what? P is at 1, 2, 1, right? 2, 1. Okay, P prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 4. Okay, image over pre-image. That would be 8 over 2 or 4 over 1. Either way, 8 divided by 2 gives you 4. This is a scale factor of 4. Okay, identify the scale factor used here. Let's take 2 points. How about we take H and H prime? Again, guys, to find the scale factors, the image over the pre-image. H is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, negative 1, 2, 3. 9, negative 3. Okay. Our image, H prime, is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 2. At 6, negative 2. Image over pre-image. Your image would be 6. Your pre-image would be 9. Can I reduce this? Let's reduce it by 3 over 3. And that would get me 2/3. The scale factor here is 2/3. The image is 2/3 the size of the pre-image. That's what your scale factor tells us. Okay? And one other thing I'd like to go over is how to find the scale factor. Let me throw this in real quick. Okay? How to find the scale factor if you're comparing two sides. Oh, we did that already. We compared two sides to find the scale factor. Okay, all right. I think that covers everything that we needed to in here, guys. We have found scale factors. We have found what happens when we dilate an image, and we've dilated points. Okay.